Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ricky's Repairs. Today in this video we have the Jeep Wrangler back up on the lift, and we got some more goodies to put on it today. We're going to finish up the front end repairs, and what we're going to be changing today is we have the tie bar here that has the tie rod ends on it. We got this bar and both ends. We're going to also change out this upper bar right here, which is like a drag link. It goes up to the pitman arm up there. That's off the steering box. That's the pitman arm. This will be the drag link. We're going to have to save this piece. This is like a collar that connects the end to the drag link, and it's adjustable in both spots. So we're going to have to measure that. And then this bottom bar right here connects to the steering stabilizer shock on the bottom down here. And then we're going to save this piece right here, this adjuster screw. So basically the tie rod end fits into the screw, and then the screw fits into the bar. And then you tighten it up right here. So we're going to have to be real careful here when we take this apart to make sure we count the number of turns and from this into this, and then count the number of turns from this into this. That way we can kind of sort of get it close enough where he can go to the alignment shop and not be messing up his tires too bad. Here are the new parts we have to go on. This is the new tie bar right here with the tie rod end links. This is where the steering stabilizer shock connects right there. And here's the other end of it right here. That's where that spacer has to go in there. And dude, this is like army green right here. So this ought to add a whole bunch more heavy duty stuff to this because it's green. So that ought to really make it stronger. Here's that other bar, the drag link. So we're going to put all that on, and yeah, stick around and check it out. So you guys know every job pretty much on this is going to start with getting the wheels off. Alright, so we're going to start right here with this drag link right here. And this is where it connects to the pitman arm up here. So we're going to have to remove that nut. Okay, so I'm going to get this loose, but I'm going to leave it on there a couple of turns here. I'm going to leave it where I can turn it with my finger, but I'm still going to leave it on here because I don't want this to fall out, because it'll change, you know, how everything is. So now I'm going to take it loose from the other side down here, and I'll back it off and then leave it on a couple threads. So that way I can hold on to the bar here and I'll have control, and then I'll just take this off and that off and ease it off, if it'll come off. I might have to take a pickle fork or something, stick it in there and knock it loose. I don't know yet. We will see. There we go. So I put it back on a little bit here. Keep it from falling like that. I might try to hit that with a hammer or something. I don't know. Hang on. Let's see what we got. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll give it a shot here with the old hammer. There it goes. See that? That nut kept it from falling all the way off. I didn't want that. Now I can control it. So let me go back over here and hit this other side. Now this one might be a little more difficult because I really don't have a whole lot of room to swing a hammer. But I guess I could try it. Let me try it, see what happens. No, I ain't got enough room to do that. Let me go get another tool. Guess we'll try this next. Stick this pickle fork in there and see if we can get it that way. We're not going to reuse these, so I don't care if I damage them or not. That works pretty good. Now we can just take that bar off. So if you tilt it just right, you can get it out. Yeah, I had no idea. I just learned something right there. It will come out if you tilt it just right. So this bar is the one we just took off right here. This is the same thing as this. This is our new bar that we're going to put on. See how it kind of follows the contour here, and then it's threaded on the end, just like this one, right there. All right, so now what we're going to do is loosen up these clamps right here, because that's what's keeping everything tight and keeping that from spinning. We're going to loosen these clamps up right here. Alright, we got lucky on that. And that. Okay. Alright, now, this is kind of how we started out right here. That was up. The other side over there, it's facing up. And these are both down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mark it here and here. And then we're going to back this stuff off and count the turns. That way, when we put it on our new one, we'll count the turns back on. So that should get us really close. Now we're going to take us a paint pen here. I got a yellow pen here. These are really good. Get these online. These things mark really well. They're oil-based, so they don't wipe off real easy. And what we're going to do is we're going to make us a mark right there. And then we'll make another one right there. This way, when we unscrew that, every time that mark comes up to there, we're going to count and count how many times that takes to get that piece off this piece. And we're going to hold that piece steady, and that piece is going to be steady. These are not going to move, only this one. One, two, three, 4, 5, 33, 34, 33 and a half. Alright. So we're going right on here. 33 and a half. 33 and 1/2. 33 and a half. Always write these down so you don't forget. Okay. Next up, we're going to rotate this one off of this one. Then we're going to count the turns on this one as that paint mark lines up every time. Each time it goes around, we'll count from this one, from this one. Oh, this is left-handed. Let's go back one. This is a left-handed thread. So when you go to unscrew it, like the cap on a Coke bottle, that's going to tighten it up. It's not going to come off. It's going to go the other way and make it tighter. So you got to go like you're putting the cap on the Coke bottle. You got to go to the right, clockwise, and that will spin it off because this is a reverse thread. That's a left-handed thread right there. So we're going to go like we're putting it on. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 32, 33, 33 and a half. Huh, it's the same way. That and that one were both 33 and a half turns. So I don't even have to write that down. Okay. So now, we're going to take this one and move it out of the way. See, my mark is at 12 o'clock. Right here, my mark is at 12 o'clock, facing straight up off the table. This is at 12 o'clock, straight up off the table. That way when I lay it on here, it's nice and flat and straight up. You want that to be straight up like that as it lays across here. That way when I slide my new one, I'm going to move it into this spot. That one will be at 12 o'clock too. So we'll get rid of this one. And then we'll make us a new mark on this one at 12 o'clock. Right there at 12 o'clock, straight up. And now what we're going to do is this the end that came off. Put it right back on there. And we're going to start at 30. So now we're going to unscrew it on. Right there. That's our half. Just get it back on there one time. That's one turn right there. So now we're going to go to 33. And we did our half turn already. You could do it the other way. I mean, that don't really matter, but it doesn't really go on that way. You could start at 12 o'clock, like right here, and you can unscrew it. You can do it like this. That's probably easier. That's one turn. We know that's one turn. So we'll go to 33. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 33 right there. And it came off at a half a turn. Right there. But it popped off there. So we're going to leave it right here at 33. That's about as close as we're going to be able to get it. Because this Jeep's going to have to go get an alignment after this. It's going to have to go get an alignment after this. And you really, I mean, I'm just not going to be able to get it too much closer by hand. It's going to be off. But it should be close enough to get into the shop to where he can get it on a rack and then they can fine tune it. That right there is pretty darn close. So we'll go ahead and tighten up that one clamp. Nope. Want that to be steady there. One there. And tighten it down. Okay. Now that's not going to move. Alright. Now, we'll get our new tie rod in here. That's our new piece. And then we'll thread that one in with this at 12 o'clock, straight up, 33 and a half times. Make us some mark on it. Another mark at 12 o'clock. Right there. And we'll go 33 and a half. And this time we're going to screw it on like football. 1, 2, 3, 33 right there. The half is right here, but we're just going to keep it at 33. Right there. It's going to get us pretty doggone close. So if we look at our other one, you can kind of see how much thread was sticking out. And that right there lines up just about perfect. So that is pretty darn close. Now we'll tighten this one down. Now we're ready to put it back on the Jeep. Start it. I'll get something to wipe that off. Well, that's got a lot of grease in it. Okay, now we'll just tighten up that nut and that nut. Alright, got that one tight and that one tight. We'll come back and grease that, and we'll grease that other one, and that one will be done. There should be a grease fitting right there, but I don't see it. Huh, let me go see if I can find it. Here it is. It fell out of the box. Found it. We'll just screw that right up in there. Maybe. There we go. And just screw it up in there. It's just a grease fitting. You ain't got to kill it. Just get it up in there snug and just give it a like that. That's it. That's all you got to do. Then we'll take us some grease. There you go. Nothing right there, ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to remove the tie bar and the tie rod ends on each side. You got that one there, and then it goes over there to that side. So we're going to start by getting the tie rod end loose from the spindle right here. Oh. There we go. I'm going to do basically the same thing I did before. I'm going to leave it on a couple of threads here, finger tight, so that it don't fall off. I don't want it to fall off. And then we'll come over here to the other side. And then we'll take this one loose. Yeah, same thing here. Just leave it where you can get it with your fingers right there. I don't know if our pickle fork is going to work on this one or not, because it might. We'll try it and see. Because we're not going to reuse this. It don't matter if we damage it or not. There we go. Come out! There we go. Alright, there's one side. There we go. That's what you want. Now, just a side note, some people will say that you can hit this with a hammer right here on this surface area right here on this spindle, like you crack it right there a couple times. Now, you could do that, but I don't recommend it because I have hit those before. And these things sometimes are so stuck that you will hit that so hard with a hammer that you will actually crack it right here, and it'll split right here where it comes together. This is a cast spindle. And right there, you see that line running down through there right there. You get it where you can see it. Yeah, you see that line, that casting line right there? That's where they cast this piece and they broke the mold apart. It's all connected right now. But if you go hitting on that with a hammer right there, you're going to split that sucker right down through there, right there. You're going to split it. And then your spindle's going to be bad. And you're going to have to take all that off and then replace this spindle. So that's why I don't recommend hitting it right here with a hammer. I recommend using a pickle fork and sticking it in there because I'm not going to reuse this. I got a new one. So because I got a new one, I don't care about this one. So I'll destroy it, getting it off, whatever. Or you could take this nut off, flip it over, and put it back on, and drive it down with a hammer right there with the nut on it flush with the shaft. And you could do that, and it would pop it down. That'll keep it from mushrooming at the top, because you don't want to mushroom them threads either, because then sometimes you can't get the nut off, or you can't get the shaft through the hole. So the pickle fork is probably just easier right there. Or you could hit it right here with a hammer. Come straight down and hit it right there with a hammer. Because we're going to replace that. There again, I got room to hit it. I could do it right there. It'd be no problem. But I just had the pickle fork, so I just choose to use it right there. So anyway, yeah, we'll finish getting this off and getting this new one on. We'll just take it loose right here. See how that drops out like that? Real nice. No worries right there. Oh, I did forget something. Here, let me show you something. I forgot something. Yep, sure did. Right here. The stabilizer shock. Right there, I forgot. You got to take this off and get this shock off and let it drop down because this is connected to the shock. So we got to take that off. Man, I don't know who put that on there, but it is tight. I'll just take it off and just let it hang right there. That's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Put her nut back on a little bit. Now we can take it off. Okay, so it's kind of the same deal here, like what we did before. I'll loosen this nut. Put a little loosey-goosey in there. There we go. This one might be a little harder to get off. Yep, we're going to put this in a vise. We might have to get it hot too, because it ain't wanting to move. Okay, so I was unable to get this to unscrew from this. So what I did was I took this whole bar and I got it chucked up in a vise here. And my vise is good and tight. That's going to keep everything still. And what I'm going to have to do is use this torch here. I'm going to use this torch and I'm going to have to get it hot right here. Let's see if I can get it loose. This is kind of more or less the normal way to get these off, because these are always stuck all the time. And I got real lucky on the last one, it just came right out. But this one is seized up on here, so we're going to have to use this torch here and get it hot. And that'll allow us to get it off. That got us started. 2. 3. Let's see if I got a crescent image. That's 3. I gotta remember 3. I'll write it down. 3. Four. 5. 6. 7. 48. 49. 49. Alright, 49. 4. 9. Alright, now we gotta get that off that. One. Uh-oh, where's my mark? Can't see my mark. That ain't no good. There it is, right there. Alright, so I'm 1 turn. That's 2 turns. But I think this is lefty too. So let's go back 2 turns. Let's see. 1, 2. So that's like 0. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, it's hot. 7, 31, 32, 32 on that. So I'm going to write down 32, 32 on that one. Alright. Now we'll just put this away. Alright, so basically now we're working on our new piece. We got all our measurements. We counted the turns on the spacer insert adjuster nut thing there. Then we counted our turns on tie rod end. So now all we got to do is transfer them back onto this, into the new piece. And then we'll be good to go. So we know we went 32 turns into here. This is our insert that screws into here. And let's clean this out here a little bit. That looks kind of rough. Get all that old junk out there. Woo, it's still hot though. Woo-wee. That baby is hot. There we go. Just kind of clean that out. It's got a slot in it where it can expand. And the same thing on the other side. Same thing on this side. It's got a slot in it here and a slot in it here. It's just full of stuff from over a period of time. So we'll just clean that out like that. There we go. That looks better. Now I really recommend using never seas on all this, but we ain't got any. So we're just going to use some lube on it. So we'll just spritz it on the inside there real good. Hose this guy down. And then we were 32 turns on this one. So we'll just grab it right here. You see my paint mark. This thing's still hot. Hot as hell. See my paint mark right there? And this is all at 12 o'clock. So we'll start right here. Go on in. One, two, three. I'm counting this line as it passes this line. What I say, 3, 4, 5, 6, 32. Alright, so that's 32. That's pretty close to where it was. Alright, now we'll take our new tie rod in. Like I said, you want to use Never Seas. Permatex makes a good graphite or nickel based anti-seize going in. Really good. This one I believe was 49. Yeah, 49 revolutions on this one. So we'll line it up again. There's our line at 12 o'clock. One, two, that's 249. All right. That should be pretty darn close to where it was when we took it off. Now I'll just tighten down this and move it over and tighten it down. Maybe. Now I'll just tighten this nut down. And that'll lock everything down. I'm going to leave it a little loose, so if I have to adjust it, I'll put it on there, we can move it. Alright. Alright, so I just got them started there. And we'll get this shock on. tighten her down. You know you're pretty close when you put this back on and your rotors and your spindles don't move. When they just go right in, you know you're pretty darn close. And I'll just tighten it up now so that good and tight so I can get a cotter pin through there. And it's got a special cotter pin that goes on it. And the cotter pin looks like this. Oh. It looks like that. That's your cotter pin for this side. Stick it through there. Like that. And then the other side gets a regular pin. And you tighten this side up and it gets a regular cotter pin. And then this side gets a regular cotter pin. Put that in there. And fold the tab up and over and down like that. And this one I'll just fold around the back. I'll get one. There you go. That one's in there. Now we'll put some grease fittings in there and grease it up. And a little grease. And a little grease on this one. Alrighty, now that one's done. Man, that green really makes it look military-like, you know? Yeah, definitely. And this guy is a really good guy, the guy that owns this Jeep. He would like some ducks. So if you guys are watching this and y'all think this is duck worthy, send him some ducks. He works out there at the Junk King of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And if you guys would mail him some ducks from time to time, you know, just one or two or something, I think that would really make his day for letting me do this and show you guys how to put this bar on and stuff, and how to make this Jeep better all the way around. I think it's duck worthy. So yeah, anyway, if he gets one or two, that would just make his day, I think.